Namaste, welcome yogis, welcome. So I invite you to get yourselves ready and have whatever you need in your practice. I do invite you to have your bolster or large pillow or rolled up blanket, rolled up comforter, rolled up towels, lots of substitutes that you can have instead of a bolster. And some small cushions, perhaps a couple of blankets, which reminds me, I'm going to get my 2 small cushions. There we go. So grab whatever you have on your sofa or on your bed, wherever you practice yoga, and then have those props ready and available to you. It's very cold today. We've had some snow, which is delightful, but it does mean now that the sun has set, the temperature has really dropped. And our practice today, I'm continuing with the self-care series. And our practice today is a practice of yin to lift us out of the winter blues. For those of us who experience seasonal affective disorder, SAD, when our mood really drops because of the lack of sunlight or daylight hours. And we can feel in ourselves a sense of heaviness or darkness, perhaps fatigue, a sense of being sluggish, really wanting to hibernate in these dark, colder days. And when we have that experience of sort of sadness, it can feel really difficult to lift ourselves, to find the light, to motivate or encourage ourselves. And so our practice today is really to help us connect with the inner light. And when we are in a season of darkness, perhaps the inner light is what we turn to and trust in to see us through until we reach spring. So coming into your easy seat Sukhasana, perhaps you are seated on a folded blanket or a cushion, lengthening through your spine. For your mudra here at the opening, I'm going to invite you to fold in your ring finger and take your thumb right to the top of the knuckle there. So it's a very deep fold in the ring finger, like so, rather than the tip of it, but the knuckle there. And this is the Agni Mudra. Agni means fire. So your palms can be face up, ideally, or you can have them face down if it feels like you want to keep your palms warm on your knees. Closing your eyes, settling here, and noticing the temperature of the room around you. Sensing either the warmth or perhaps the coolness or cold of the air around you. Noticing how it feels on your skin, your face, the tip of your nose. As you hold your mudra, your hand gesture, this seal of energy, perhaps you notice that your fingers are feeling cold. Your circulation may be a little slower. So noticing here as we sit in Sukhasana with our Agni Mudra, thumb to the knuckle of the ring finger, palms face up on your knees or face down. Sensing the temperature of the air around you. perhaps warm and cozy, perhaps a little chilly and cool, or even cold. Noticing how the tip of your nose feels, the fingertips, the toes, perhaps the ears. Noticing the subtle changes of temperature throughout your body, the parts of your body that are exposed, the parts of your body that are covered by your clothes. Perhaps the bonier parts of your body feel cooler. Perhaps the parts of your body that have layers of fat feel warmer. Just notice how your body feels throughout. And now, in your mind's eye, at your heart center, visualize a candle. A candle and the flame burning. The glow that is emanating or radiating from this candle. Very subtle warmth that is spreading from the flame of the candle into your heart space. Focus on the candle flame. Notice how the warmth of the candle flame begins to spread throughout your body. Perhaps you can feel the warmth of the candle in your subtle body senses. Know that this candle at the heart, this eternal flame, this inner light, burns, eternally present, whether seen or unseen. As you inhale, draw the warmth of the flame. And as you exhale, allow this warmth to spread to the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes, the tips of your nose. This warmth exuding throughout your body. Inhaling the warmth from the candle flame. Exhaling, allowing that warmth to wash in waves, gentle warmth spreading through your body. That sensation of when you step into a warm bath. The heat spreads slowly. Or the sensation of when you blush, the heat rises slowly in your body. As you feel that flush of warmth. Calling upon this light within to restore our vitality, to stimulate our prana, our chi. Bringing your hands together in Namaskar at the heart center. Opening our practice by chanting Om 3 times. Inhaling fully. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Hands to your eyebrow center. Namaste. And welcome, yogis. Now bringing your hands in Namaskar back to the heart. I'm going to offer to you a mudra that you can practice during your meditation at home. So what I'm going to invite you to do, so in your Namaskar Mudra, you always have your thumbs aligned. So keeping your thumbs aligned, bring the tips of your index fingers together so that they arc above the tips of your thumb. And then open out your middle ring and little finger. So if you look at it, it looks like a candle flame. So the thumbs side by side are the candle wick. The tips of the index fingers that arc above your thumbs, touching each other, are the flame. And the middle ring and little finger, as they open out, is the heat radiating out. This is Tejas Mudra. And you can bring this to the heart and gaze down towards it, or you can keep it in front of your face so that you can look at this Tejas Mudra, this candle flame shape that you have created here, the inner light. Our mantra for this mudra is Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam. I am lightness itself. Om Laghur Bhavam. I am lightness itself. I return to that place within where light is the essence, where only peace radiates. I am lightness itself. And when you are feeling as if the cloak of winter, the cloak of darkness feels overwhelmingly as a shroud, and your mood dips, and your endorphin levels are low, and the seasonal affective disorder is affecting you deeply. Adopting this mudra, Tejas, this light. Tejas also means fire, but the internal fire, Tejas. And this mantra of Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam, I am lightness itself. This light within is present eternally. Peace radiates from this light. You can chant the mantra in Sanskrit, or you can repeat the mantra's translation into English. And I invite you to sit at home with a candle and chant this mantra 9, 21, 108 times. So we'll be drawing on that mantra, mudra, during our practice today. Now you're seated in Sukhasana. And what I invite you to do is bring your left knee and bend at the left knee and take your left foot behind you so that you create the zigzag, this deer shape. So your right leg is in front of you, your left leg is along the side of your body. Lengthen here. Let's turn over to the right. You can keep that left hand on your knee. You can bring your thumb to the ring finger knuckle in Agni Mudra. And then turn your head and lower your left ear towards your left shoulder so that you feel an extension on the right side of your neck. And you'll feel this extension all the way along the side of your abdomen. Right fingertips on the earth. Left hand in your Agni Mudra on your left knee. Left ear heading towards your left shoulder. Yin Yoga for the winter blues. Helping to shift some of the stagnation, the fatigue or hibernation that we may be far too deeply within. so that we feel as if we are not motivated or hopeful or optimistic. One more breath here in this variation of deer pose. Turn your head now all the way to look over your right shoulder just for a moment as a counter pose, counter twist. Inhaling back to center, turning your body and heart to follow. Bring the soles of your feet together in butterfly Baddha Konasana. Now, this is where I invite you to perhaps use your cushions. Just create a little bit of space for myself. You can see I'm wearing my socks today. So have your cushions underneath your knees so that your knees are cushioned here and supported. And then you can take your hands to your feet. If you're wearing socks, then leave your socks on. If you don't happen to have any socks on, this is where you can interlace your fingers between your toes and give them a little squeeze. And then you're warming your toes and warming your fingertips. So knees supported by cushions. If you don't have any cushions available, you can practice without props. Lengthen your heart, lift your crown, and then begin to hinge forward. And when you've gone as far as is comfortable for your inner hip flexors or the thighs here, you can then lower your crown, tucking your chin in here. And forward fold butterfly. We're working mainly with the water element today. The water element is associated with winter. And here we're trying to shift the flow of water so that it flows with more ease. In the winter, we know water can freeze, it becomes slushy, frozen, not flowing at all. Slushy, so flowing with some movement, but less flow than usual. We're targeting the kidneys and the urinary bladder today. Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam. So I often use the mantra on my breath. Inhaling at Om. Exhaling at the next word, Laghur. Inhaling Bhavam. Then exhale. And then inhale again on Om. Exhale Laghur. Inhale Bhavam. Exhale silence. So your mantra flows on the breath. Silently or chanting softly. Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam. On your next inhale, begin to uncurl your spine to rise up with your crown and your heart. Gently removing your cushions. And this time, let's, with helping hands, take the right foot alongside us and left shin in front of us. So now with right heel towards our hip, this zigzag deer pose shape. Lengthen here. And then let's exhale over to the left. And again, your left fingertips can come on the earth, your right hand on your right knee, and I have here my mudra, thumb on ring knuckle. And when you're settled here, begin to drop your right ear towards your right shoulder so that you feel an extension on the left side of your neck. Perhaps that extension is all the way down towards the side of your abdomen. Allow your head to feel heavy as it draws down towards the right shoulder. You have a compression here on the right side. Three more breaths here. On the next inhale, begin to reach through the crown to lift the right ear away from the shoulder. And then let's look over the left shoulder as a counter twist. Inhale, turn to center, turning with your heart. And now let's come onto our knees just for a moment. And this is where you might want to place so if you have your blanket or cushion, you can place your blanket or cushion on the inside of your ankles. You can also place a cushion at the backs of your knees. This may ease a little bit here for you. Another option is to have, depending on where you're feeling it, so we experiment, your knees on a cushion in front of you. If none of these options feel comfortable for you, so you can even place a cushion on your heels. If none of them feel comfortable for you, you can come back into Sukhasana. My fingers are so cold, my rings are sliding off my fingers. Inhale, hands in your mudra, Agni Mudra, thumb on ring finger knuckle. And reach your hands up towards the sky. Gaze up towards the sky, an upward salute here. Draw in your navel towards the spine. Soften your shoulders. Lift your gaze. Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam. I am lightness itself. If you start feeling pins and needles in your arms or your hands, you can always bend into your elbows and bring them down a little lower. And if that still doesn't feel comfortable, you can reach your arms forward. Sometimes lifting our arms overhead affects the blood flow. One more full breath here. Exhaling, bring your hands in Namaskar to the heart. Let's create our Tejas Mudra here. Thumbs together, tips of index finger, together to create an arc. Candle flame above the wicks of your thumb. Open out your middle ring and little finger. Your Tejas Mudra. And closing your eyes for a moment, visualize the candle flame at your heart. and connect with whatever it is that you wish to shift. The warmth of the candle can, thinking about how it can defrost. So any parts where you feel stagnant, stuck, the light of this candle can help to gradually and gently shift that. Om Laghur Bhavam. I am lightness itself. This light is eternally present within. The inner light glows and radiates in the depths and darkness of winter, in the depth of the cold season. Releasing your mudra. We're coming into child's pose here. So if you have your large pillow or bolster available, place that in front of you. Your blanket can create padding for your knees and your big toes. So take your big toes together, knees wide-legged child's pose. You can place the tops of your hands underneath your eyebrow center here. So you create a pillow with your hands. Or you can turn and place your ear on the bolster. And then I'll tell you when to switch it around when we're halfway. So you can have your arms alongside your bolster, palms face up. Your hands in your Agni Mudra, thumb to ring finger knuckle. Soft fingers. The reason I've given you two mudras today is often when we're using both of our hands for a mudra, so the seal, this gesture of light, Tejas Mudra. It means that when we are in a asana or a pose, we're not necessarily able to bring that mudra in the pose that we're in. So then we can go into the single hand mudras there. So thinking about how in this season of winter, some of us may not be going out as much. The short days mean that perhaps walks in nature become more difficult to arrange. Being in lockdown means we may be limited to how often and where we can go. Perhaps our health restricts our ability to venture out. And then turning to the light that's within the home. I have lamps all over my house so that there's always multiple lights burning during the winter, simply to create a sense of my home being within light. Seeking time to go for a walk. If you are resting on one ear, turn your head to rest on the other ear. Perhaps rising at dawn for your yoga practice. Making the most of your day. Perhaps practicing with a candle in front of you or a Himalayan lamp, or even the incense, the glow of an incense stick. 3 more breaths here in child's pose, supported by bolster or cushion or pillow. Releasing your Agni Mudra, turning your palms so that they're face down and helping to lift yourself up with your inhale. Now your pillow or bolster or cushions, turn them around so they're now lying widthways, so they're lying across your mat. We're going to move directly into caterpillar pose and placing the bolster or large pillow or cushions underneath our knees. Soften through your feet, your ankles, your knees. Seated here with your folded blanket underneath you so that you're warm. Perhaps you cover yourself with another blanket as we fold forward here, or having an eye pillow. And I like to place the eye pillow on the back of my neck. Lengthen here, and then as you exhale, reach up and fold forward. And then rest your hands wherever they land on your legs. You can place the eye pillow on the back of your neck. Cover yourself with a blanket here. Your belly resting on your thighs. You can reach your feet, you can warm your toes. The practice of yin teaches us to heal, to fully inhabit ourselves. Developing an attitude of attentiveness and kindness within us. Those are the words of Sarah Powers, a leading practitioner and teacher of yin, talking about the healing power when we slow down and we give our bodies the chance to become attuned. When we notice and pay attention to how our body is feeling, this gives us an insight into how our mood or emotions or thoughts may be. If you're finding it difficult to energize yourself, to get out of bed, to get off the sofa, to move, you are not alone. Many of us are feeling like that at this time of year. And to be honest with you, this weekend, the only times that I've moved is for my practice and to go for a walk. My body lets me know what I need, whether I need rest, whether I need movement. And if only the movement is to sit on my mat, then that is enough for me. So finding what works for you in the moment. One more breath here in caterpillar, letting your body know that you're about to move. As you inhale, begin to uncurl your spine, sliding your hands up your legs. And then let's bend into our knees here. Now the option here, we're going to go into dragon, the fiery dragon pose. So if you have a bolster or a large pillow, you can roll it to the top of your mat here. And come onto your knees on your folded blanket here. Placing your hands on your pillow or your bolster or blocks, whatever you have available. Let's step forward with the right foot. Now this right foot can go as far forward as you want. So I'm wearing my big jumper here. So my right knee and my right ankle are aligned. I have an angle here on my left thigh. My right foot is as wide as my mat. Coming into variation of dragon here. Now dragon is that fiery energy. If you think of a fire-breathing dragon. So this is again adding to the sense of heat, Tejas, Agni, fire. You'll be feeling this in your hips. You can also, in your own time, come down onto your forearms. But find what works for you here. We're seeking to have a restorative dragon here. We're now working on our spleen, our liver and gallbladder. By working with the dragon pose, we shift self-doubt, anxiety, we can lift ourselves out of despair, even if only temporarily, while we hold this pose. I know that often you may feel a significant change while you're on the mat, and that may last for some time after you've come off your mat, but it may not last for the whole day. It may just be an hour, even less. The benefit is for that duration while we're practicing, and for that immediate time after our practice, our endorphins are activated, stimulated. So we feel more connected with positive sensations and emotions, or perhaps just being relieved of negative emotions or thoughts or despair. And that relief in itself can support us. Yoga isn't the miracle cure. Yoga is a tool that we can use that over time can create a shift, but it is a gradual shift. For some of us, it may feel very transformative in a radical way. For some of us, it may be a gradual change over time. It is a tool that can help support us when we need it. Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam. I am lightness itself. Now, if you're on your forearms here, I invite you to bring your hands into your Tejas Mudra, bringing your thumbs together, index tips touching, middle ring and little finger fanning open, so that you can look down at your mudra here. Om Laghur Bhavam. I trust that my inner light is eternally present. It is ever present, even in moments of darkness and the depths of cold. One more full breath here. If you're on your forearms, lifting yourself onto your hands. And just shift your sit bones back and stretch through that right leg, flexing the toe just for a moment, keeping your hands on your pillow or bolster. And then let's bring that right knee back and step forward with the left foot. And again, you can shift that right knee back, step as far forward as you want with your left foot, as perhaps your left foot is as wide as your mat. Adjusting yourself to what feels comfortable for you. If you're resting on your hands and you feel the weight into your wrists, you can always curl up your hands and create a little soft fist, and then place your fists on your pillow or bolster. And that will mean that the weight isn't sinking into your wrists. So you can create little fists, and that just helps you have a more sturdiness in your wrists, and disperses the weight more evenly. And whenever you're ready, if you choose, you can come onto your forearms. You can interlace your fingers or create your Tejas Mudra with your thumbs aligned in as the wick of the candle, index fingers arched above as the halo of the flame, and the other three fingers extended, softly extended, as if they are the warmth radiating from the flame, or the light emanating beyond the flame. Om Laghur Bhavam. And knowing that in these moments of despair, that your friends and family can support you, that you can seek advice from your doctor, your therapist, knowing that you can change your diet slightly so that you can connect with more of the fresh fruits and vegetables and salads, which may be in short supply during these winter months. But because we live in the West, we are blessed with having a greater variety of food available to us. Taking time to cuddle, touch, and physically connect with your intimate partners, your immediate family members where you can, or even stroking your pets, releasing oxytocin that can help us feel the love hormone. and getting outdoors as much as you can, as often as you are able to. Om Laghur Bhavam. Laghur Bhavam. Three more breaths here in dragon. High flying or low flying dragon. And then on the inhale, rising up onto your hands, if you're on your forearms, take your sit bones back towards your heel, extend through your left leg, flexing the toes to stretch out. And then bring your foot back towards you. Now we're going to come onto our abdomens, and this is a slightly unusual pose for us. And I'm going to give you two options here. So you can make sure you align your blanket here. Now, underneath your pelvic area, I'm going to invite you to either stack some blankets or cushions or your pillow or bolster. And then I'm going to ask you to come and lie on your blanket so that your hips and pelvis are on your blankets. And then bring your head to rest on the backs of your hands. So create a pillow or cushion with your hands. Allow your elbows to be reaching out towards the mat. So take up space with your elbows, and then you can create this pillow by stacking your hands and resting your eyebrow center on there. You can also use your eye pillow here, so that if your hands feel a bit cold, you can place the eye pillow there, so that gives you a little bit more of a cushioning effect. Your toes are towards each other. Allow your heels to fall out. So this is an abdominal pose, an abdominal extension. Now, if you find that you've created your stack of pillows or cushions and it feels too high, you can always take them away. You can also create a slightly higher one if you wish. So if you have your bolster, use your bolster. This is also great for if you have PMS, premenstrual tension. Also good if you are experiencing constipation. But for today, what we're doing here is we're supporting our kidneys, the water element that runs through our body, the bladder, the urinary bladder, the kidneys. I certainly do invite you to cover yourself with a blanket here if you wish. Perhaps make sure you've got your socks on. This is one of the most restorative poses, so that we feel deeply rested. Because we have that connection between our abdomen and the earth, or through our bolster or pillow or blankets. It can feel very comforting, as if we're having a full body hug. If it doesn't feel comfortable underneath your hips and pelvis, you can always shuffle your pillows or bolsters underneath your ribs and see how that feels. So you have options here. But I often find, and you can try it when it's underneath my ribs, I find it constricts my breath just a little too much for my liking. But for some people, that works very well for them. So our practice today really is for us to recognize that we have our inner resource, inner resilience available to us. That it can support us. That the light of the sun, when not available to us, we can recreate by the light of fire, of a candle, of a lamp, of an incense stick. We'll be here for 5 more breaths. When we work with our kidney and urinary bladder and the gallbladder, it helps to stimulate the water element and therefore the flow of chi, of energy, of vitality, shifting us out of a sense of when we feel sluggish, and enabling us to move forward with intentionality. We might find it difficult to be motivated, but these small steps can be reaffirming, validating. Now here, using your hands either side of your shoulders, lift yourself up and take your sit bones back towards your heels. And place your elbows on your bolster or pillow or blankets and bring your hands above your crown so your eyebrow center is resting on your pillow bolster. Your knees can be together or wide here. Bring your thumbs together to touch above your crown. Bring the tips of your index to touch. Allow the middle ring and little finger to fan open, gently curled, so that you create this Tejas Mudra above your head. My knees are wide here, big toes touching for most comfort. Child's pose supports us when we're feeling vulnerable. Helps us to become more relaxed, lessening the fear, reducing a sense of insecurity we may feel or doubt we experience. Om Laghur Bhavam. So here, child's pose is a transition pose for us. Releasing your mudra. Rising up slowly, moving with minimum fuss. Now we're going to move into supported bridge or fish, supported bridge pose. So you have your bolster or large pillow or folded blankets across your mat, somewhere in the middle. And so what I'm going to invite you to do is take your legs over your pillow or bolster. And this is where you might want to make sure, I'm going to put my socks on here because we're going to then move into Shavasana. So I'm going to make sure I have my socks on, have my eye pillow, my blankets close. Excuse me. And then lower your back onto the earth. And then when your back connects with the earth, pressing into your feet, lift up your hips and pelvis and pull your pillow or bolster or blanket so that they're directly underneath your the heaviest part of you, so that your hips and pelvis are now resting on the bolster, your pillow or blankets. So your tailbone is probably somewhere in the middle. So if you think about where all of your heaviest part is, your hip bones here, they're all supported by the bolster or pillow. Adjust your shoulders, tuck in your chin to elongate the back of your neck. Arms alongside your body, hands can be in Agni Mudra, thumb to ring finger, fingers gently extended there. So you can stay here for a bit. We'll start off here in supported bridge, covering yourself with your blanket, perhaps bringing your eye pillow to cover your eyes. And then soften through the joints, the ankles, the knees, the hips, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders. With your eyes closed, in your mind's eye, visualize the candle flame. The glow radiating from the flame. The warmth that you can feel. Om Laghur Bhavam. I am lightness itself. The inner light is ever present. The inner light glows and radiates deep within. I know that I am resilient, protected, secure, safe. I invite you, if you wish, to extend one leg long, either your left or right. See how that feels on your lower back. If that feels okay for you, you can extend the other leg so that now both your legs are extended. If this causes twinges in your lower back, bend into your knees and bring your foot back onto the earth. And you can do the half variation, one leg extended, one knee folded with your foot flat on the earth, or both knees bent. If your legs are extended, we won't be here for very long. This is the counter pose in either supported bridge or the supported extension of both legs. It's a counter pose to the prone abdominal stretch. You may also choose to rest your hands on your abdomen here. Three more breaths here. If your legs are extended, bend into your knees. Take a moment to allow your spine to realign. And then gently lift your hips and pelvis and roll or push your pillows, bolster, down towards the back of your knees so that you can rest your knees on your bolster or pillows. Coming into your Shavasana pose, covering yourself with a blanket if not already, covering your eyes with an eye pillow or perhaps a soft shawl or scarf. And staying here in your Shavasana for at least 5 minutes after I close our class. You can be here for as long as you wish. Perhaps you scan your body, starting at the toes and working up the length of your body, visualizing each part of your body in your mind's eye. Visualizing at your heart a candle flame. Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam. Om Laghur Bhavam. I shall leave you here in Shavasana for your own practice. And closing when you rise with Om Shanti, softly. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.